Everyone is talking about the war, but almost no one is asking about what's the right question is who actually benefits from this situation. Because when you look closely, this is not just a conflict between Iran and United States, and this is a layered power game, and every statement you hear is designed to shape the perception. Welcome to the world workstation, where we don't follow the headlines, we decode what's behind them. Let's start the video. Let's begin what's happening behind the scenes. Let's start with the surface narrative. Iran is threatening US naval forces in the Strait of Hormuz. Warnings of sinking ships, statements of resistance. At the same time, United States is increasing naval deployment, blockade-like positioning, and demonstrating power. Now, pause here. If both sides are escalating, why hasn't a full-scale war started? Because neither side wants to uncontrolled chaos. Iran knows direct war with the United States is not sustainable. The US knows a full war in this region will disrupt a global energy systems. So what are they doing instead? Controlled escalation. Iran creates a tension. The US responds with a pressure. But both sides they stay below the threshold of total war. Now look at the contradiction. United States, I'm sorry, Iran says it can strike US ships. Analysts say US naval power is overwhelming because this is not about it is about signaling that sending a message we can increase your cost. The US is sending a message to Iran that we can, and between these two signals the real negotiation happens. Now let's begin the economic layer. The Strait of Hormuz, nearly 20% of global oil passes this route. If disrupted instantly, and here's the hidden truth, oil prices spikes, multiple players, Russia gains, Gulf gains, energy will gain. Instability is not always a loss. For players, it might get a profit for some players. And now look at the China. China depends heavily on oil and trade routes passing through these regions. Any disruption happens here, it creates a pressure on China's economies as well. And that's where the second battlefield emerges, and that is called the Strait of Malacca, a much larger trade artery. More than half of the global trade flows through it. If Hormuz is a pressure on energy, Malacca is pressure on entire system. Now think strategically. If Hormuz disruption raises oil price and Malacca disruption slows global trade, the cost of everything will rises. Inflation increases, economic growth slows, and global dependency becomes visible. And now ask yourself, is this accidental? No. Or is this structured pressure? Maybe. It's a part of game. Now let's talk about diplomacy. Peace talks happened, hours of meetings conducted, exchange of documents happened, but no resolution. Why? You heard it right. The timing was wrong, trust was missing, and more importantly, both sides entered with non negotiable positions, which means one thing is clear: these talks were not designed to succeed immediately. They were designed to buy the time, to reposition, to test each other's capability. Now, and we'll go to the next. Now, let's address another critical angle: Lebanon. Ceasefire discussions happened, but strikes continued. Hezbollah refuses conditions. Israel continues operations. So, what does that tells us? Ceasefires today are tactical pauses, not permanent solutions. Now, let's move on to a more uncomfortable question. Is this conflict being used as leverage against other global players? Strategically, yes. Look at the China, look at Russia, look at energy markets. Every move in this region has global implications. So now let's come to the cost comparisons. If these ships avoid Hormuz, they take longer routes, a higher fuel consumption, higher insurance costs, higher shipping charges. Now, if Malacca is disrupted, the cost multiplies because this affects not just oil but global trade itself. This is where the real economic pressure lies. Now, the final question: who wins the war? If you're looking for a clear winner, you're asking the wrong question, because this is not a war designed to end quickly. The United States dominates militarily but cannot eliminate a regional resistance instantly. Iran cannot win militarily but can sustain the pressure. China avoids direct conflict but protects economic interests. Russia benefits from instability. So, what is the outcome? No immediate winner, but shifting the power of global economic, controlled instability, strategic position. This is how a modern conflicts operate. Not on not total destruction, but continuous pressure. Now remember this: this real battlefield is not just a land or sea. It is economy. It is a trade. It is influence, and most importantly, it is a control. So the real question is not who wins the war. The real question is who controls the system after it stabilizes. Remember this, because you're not hearing it before most people understanding. World Workstation told you first. Tell me your perspective. In this heading, is this heading towards the war or a controlled global strategy? Tell me your perception through your comments. Subscribe to the World Workstation, because here we don't just repeat the news, we reveal the power. Thanks for watching. We'll meet on next video. Thanks for watching.